Okay, this is part 2 of the LED lights on the 2017 Super Duties. I've had some customers talking about glare and stuff like that, and I want to go over the LEDs and how to focus them in your headlight. So they are more universal than anything. So if you'll notice, your kit, if you read the instructions that comes in the box, get this unplugged real quick. Okay. These lights have a Allen screw on the side. So when you put it in the housing, before you put it in the housing, take the Allen out and lock the plastic piece in, and then you can rotate, get your truck up against like 20 feet away from a wall and rotate the LED inside of the housing till you get a good beam pattern. You want it nice and solid, so that way when you hit your high beams, the high beams actually works. If you put these in there and they're not installed correctly, you'll have a lot of glare back and people will be flashing you. That's tip number 1 for these LEDs. They work really good. I've sold a lot of them, but if you want them to work correctly when you're on the road and not get flashed all the time and not have glare, just adjust the Allen, take the Allen out, adjust it in the housing, and get it where it needs to be on both top and bottom, and do them separately. So unplug the low one, and they both have high beam and they both have low beam to them. So do the top one first, get that one where you want it, and then do the bottom one and get that set. Next, I'm going to talk about the resistors that I have to add in here. Okay, so when I sell the LED switchbacks, which are, I'm going to explain to you how they work first. So when you turn your parking light on, I'm going to show you how these work. So they're white. Now when you hit your blinker or your emergency flashers, they blink amber. Okay. Now in order to get inside of the cab, if you have a hyper flash problem, the only way to cure that is to put a resistor in line. So you're going to tap in on the, I think in my first video I showed you how to tap in on the driver's side. On the passenger side, you're going to put one wire to the yellow blue, and then the second wire to the gray, or it looks like a bluish grayish. Let's see here. It's gray. So you have gray, blue, and then a yellow wire, yellow blue I believe it is. So my T-taps that I give you with the kits, they make it very easy so you're not wire splicing here. They tap on, and then it uses the connector, so you can just plug the connector into the wire and not have to worry about splicing any of your wires and ruining your wire there. So that just zip tie in here. These aren't going to get hot because you're only using it for your blinker, so it's a pulsed thing and they should never get hot. They should always be able to touch these ones. If you were on your parking light wire and on all the time, then yeah, they're going to get really, really hot. But since you're just using it for to stop the hyper flash, these are the only things that work. I've tried everything else that plug in line to these bulbs here, and that's the way it has to go. So for the brake lights, it's a whole different deal. I'm going to try to do something different for the brake lights, but we'll get to that in a second. So this is just the setup here for the headlights. When you're doing your fog lights, the fog light wire, let me get down here. Okay. The fog light wire here that plugs in is backwards. The polarity is reversed on the truck. So when you plug your fog light into the factory harness, make sure it's backwards. Okay, so there's the fog light. You have a clip on the your factory harness here, but the safety clip for the LED lights is on the other side, so they just go one backwards. You don't have to worry about these coming out. They stay pretty secure. There's a rubber O-ring on the inside, so it keeps it locked in pretty safely, and you don't really have to worry about the water getting into it or anything. This has been on this truck for a couple 100 miles now and hasn't moved around at all. So that's how you take care of the fog lights. Okay, so when you're doing the rears, if you have the blitz system, you need different bulbs. So I need to know offhand if you need. They both use a 3157 bulb, but the one that doesn't use a blitz system, if you don't have blitz system, you're not going to have these ones. I have different ones that fit better because these are too long for the bottom, so they kind of hit the housing a little bit. So now, instead of doing resistors on the back, I have these really nice plug and play inline adapters. So they pop right in. They're really nice and snug. They work really good with these housings. They have a really thick O-ring on here, so it stops water from getting in. But I have these LED decoders here that are inline. They don't work on the front for some reason. On the front, so you still have to use the resistors, but on the rears, if you want to do the brake lights, I have these decoders that just plug right in, and you're done. It doesn't get the hyper flash on the dashboard. And then if you have no blitz system, it takes a different reverse bulb as well. So if you're going to get the reverse bulb for your truck, let me know if you have the blitz or not, so that way I can give you the correct bulb for the back. So that's pretty much all the pointers I got, and this is the end of the part 2. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to give me a call, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. So here's what they look like at night. Really nice and clean, and it has a good beam to it, so you can see how it doesn't if you have them aimed correctly, it doesn't glare out. So if you get right in front of it, you'll get a nice good beam to it.